Howdy, how's it going? It's your boy T and Smooth back with another video today. Today I'm going to be doing Democracy 4. I think that I want to start a little series with that, just a little miniature series, give you guys something to watch. Still doing the Police Simulator series. Just been working a lot of hours, so it's kind of hard for me to get that down to, I believe I was trying to do the patrol vehicle. Once I unlock the patrol vehicle, then I'll make more videos, because I know that you guys don't really want to see, the walk around patrols as much. If that is something you guys want to see, let me know down in the comments, and I'll go to post some more videos of that, me grinding and try to unlock that patrol vehicle. As far as the Democracy 4 series, I'm going to go ahead and start a new game here. I think for the country that I want to do, you got the United States, United Kingdom, and for those of you that don't know what this is, Democracy 4 is basically a game that basically has government in it. You're basically acting as like the president. You get to pick your ministers, which in real life would be cabinet members, and stuff like that. So it's a neat little game. I've done it a few times, and usually turns out pretty good. But we got United Kingdom, got Japan, France, Canada, Australia, Spain, Germany, and Italy. And then I think we got another one too. We got South Korea. So when I first started playing this game, I don't think there was a Spain. I don't think there was a Italy or South Korea. So they've added those on. We've got... Oh, there's not a Russia on here. I thought there was a Russia on here. So we're going to do United States of America. We will hit play. For the parties, what parties do we want to select? Don't think we're going to do Democrat and Republican, because I think that would be a little bit controversial. So my party, I will call it the no, we're not going to do that. The Reform, the Radical. I don't really. I'll just pick the Patriotic Alliance, and our color will be. Let's see. I do like this little light blue, so I'll do that. And then our opposing party will be. Oh, why not? The Constitutional Party. And we'll make their color green. Why not? Alright, we are going to leave everything kind of like it is. The economy cycle, if I change that, it'll put me through somewhere else. Let's do it at 30. Innate socialism we'll leave there. Difficulty we'll leave it at 100%. Compulsory voting, we'll leave that off. Difficulty, we will turn down to 70 just to get a little bit of playthrough experience, how it is. We'll hit play. Alright, welcome to your new job as president. The lives of all 328 million citizens are now in your hands. As you will imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible, while keeping an eye on the long-term improvement of our citizens' quality of life. Plus, do not forget that you will face re-election in 4 years, so you will need to monitor the opinion polls and our party membership. Good luck. So, I'm thinking that my main focus is probably going to be crime. That looks like it is up pretty high. It's at 67%, and it's had a trend of going up on this graph sheet. It's down to 18% at one point. 52, 70. I think my goal to get it down to, I'm not going to, throw it out there on a limb and say, 18%, because I think that's pretty low. So whoever got it to 18% was doing pretty good with their term. But I think that I want to shoot, it's at 67 now. I want to shoot, by the time I go into re-election, I want it to be about 50% or below, kind of where we were right around this time. If I do get re-elected, then I'll shoot more for like the 20% range. by the time I leave office. But for now, I think let's set our, let's not set our bar too high, something that we can't manage, and let's try to get it around 50%. And what we will have to do for that is we will have to intact, different things and stuff. We are going to go ahead and reshuffle the cabinet. So let's go ahead and reshuffle the cabinet. Like I said, basically we have all these ministers, and we're going to get rid of all of them. Because let's see, when a new president comes into office, you got to understand they're bringing in their own cabinet members. So they're bringing in their own, right here, Secretary of Treasury. They're bringing their own in. They're bringing their own Secretary of Health and Human Services. They're bringing in their own Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. So, by me bringing in these new people, they call them ministers in the game. In real life, they're just called, really, the cabinet members. So, let's go ahead and start with the most important one to me if I'm wanting to do everything like I'm saying, especially with crime. And I'm not saying crime is my only focus, but it is a focus of mine. So the most important to me right now is the law and order, which is going to be an attorney general. So who is going to be my attorney general? I'm going to look at loyalty. I'm also going to look at experience. I'm going to look at campaigning a little bit, and then I'm going to look at sympathies. And right here, it has their, oh wow, it has this in here now too. So this must have been an update. It must show how suitable they would be at Law and Order. So this lady's pretty suitable. Her campaigning's all the way up. Her loyalty is about 70%. And her experience, I mean, is pretty equal to most of these other people here. So she's a good choice. And she has experience in Law and Order. So, I definitely think that she's a potential pick. I am going to go ahead over and see who's more suitable real quick. So we got John Lopez too. See, his campaigning and experience is pretty low. His loyalty's high though, and he's suitable for the job. Political capital is 1.8. This lady right here, her political capital is 2.0. I know she doesn't have much campaigning, but she has good loyalty, alright experience. And just because of that 2.0 political capital, I think I'm gonna hire her. So I think she's gonna be my attorney general. My next one is gonna be taxes, so I'm gonna look at Secretary of Treasury. And I mean, he's at 1.2, she's at 1.7. Really doesn't make any sense to pick him over her. I think I'm gonna pick her for my Secretary of Treasury too. My Secretary of Foreign Policy is gonna be pretty big. So my Secretary of State is gonna be pretty big to me. And it looks like he's at 2.2. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with him. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development is pretty important as well. I think, well, I don't know. She's got 1.6. She's religious. Yeah, I'm going to hire her for that. My Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Secretary of Transportation. I'll hire him at that. He's at 1. Well, I don't know. He's at 2.1, but he might fit in somewhere else. So I'm going to hire him at that. Secretary of Commerce. Yep. See, this is where he fits in. Told you he would fit in somewhere else. And then my Secretary of Health and Human Services. He's religious too. And he's got pretty good experience. He's 1.7. I'll hire him at that. So this is going to be my cabinet members. I'll close out of that. And then let's see if I can... No, there's no new law I can attack. Dang. Let's see if there's something I can do under public services, or actually here, fuel efficiency standards. What will this do? CO2, environmentalist, car usage will go down, oil demand will go down. I don't want oil demand to go down, or else I would do that. Public services. We'll do free parenting classes. Why not? We'll spend about. I don't want to make the budget too high, so we'll spend about 851 million, and we'll go ahead into the next quarter. And that was a short quarter only because of how much. I mean, how we had to do the cabinet members, so that's why it was so short. Here's a new policy for us to vote on. So, toxic waste dump. Proposal has been put forward to construct a major toxic waste dump in our country. This facility will be very large, potentially creating many jobs in its construction. But there are concerns about its effect on the environment. So this is allow the dump or prevent construction. So we're going to read both. Nobody exactly wants toxic waste in their back garden, but we would be fools to turn our backs on the economic gains from setting back this facility, not to mention the potential jobs. Besides, we can place the dump in the countryside where the jobs are needed and the risks are low. Okay, so that's trying to convince you to allow the dump, and then the other side is trying to trying to convince you to prevent it. So that one reads, it doesn't matter how many jobs and how much money is involved. We cannot just take the attitude of renting out our country as a rubbish pit for other nations. The effects of this toxic waste could last for generations. Is this really the legacy we want to leave for our children? So me, with the guy in charge in the pen, I think not really much to think about there. I think I am gonna prevent it. Yeah, it would be great for our economy. Yeah, it would maybe help our country a little bit grow, but over time, what it's going to do to our environment, and like I said, what it's going to leave for our kids, I don't really agree with it. So I am going to prevent that. So this one helps environmentalists, brings them up to 0.7 up and plus 7%. So basically, what that does is just boost your votes. Basically, makes them like you 7% more than I guess they already did. So we will go and close out of this, and then sometimes you'll get these quarterly reports, and sometimes you'll get certain situations like that. And sometimes it will be different things asking you to allow it or not allow it. Basically, at that point, what I would think that would be the equivalent of signing an executive order IRL. That's what I think, because it's asking you for your input, and whatever you say, it goes basically. And that's kind of how an executive order is, where if a president signs an executive order, it goes into effect right then and there. It doesn't have to go through the Senate. It doesn't have to go through the House. All of that stuff. So that's kind of what that is. Whereas most of this stuff that we're implementing would be like actually laws. You know what I mean? That would actually go through. So let's see. What do we want to do for our first thing? I don't really want to raise taxes. But at the same time, in order to lower our deficit, we're going to need to, I feel. Because if you look, most of our income is coming from income taxes, payroll taxes, corporation, and then sales tax. So if we boost our sales tax up just a little bit, and not for the whole time, just temporarily, I feel like that it would give us a better chance at lowering this debt. Because if you look, this debt has continued on a longer trend. Because what have we done over time? We've continued to spend more and more money. You see the GDP dropped there tremendously, and it hasn't recovered since, really. I mean, it recovered a little bit, but what we've spent more money. Yeah, the economy's went up, but we've spent more money, and we haven't done anything to make the budget go down. If you spend more money, obviously the money's going to come from somewhere, right? So we have to get the money from somewhere if we're going to spend it. Let's say you have $100 billion, and you're going to spend $105 billion. Well, you're going to be in debt $5 billion unless you come up with that other $5 billion. And then at that point, all that's going to do is equal it, make it equal. So this trend is still going to continue. So the only way this trend is going to go down is if we come up with more money than what we're spending. And we're going to have a surplus instead of a deficit. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's not going to be permanent. Let me see if there's just a new tax. Well, I don't really want to do a new tax. That's the thing. See, if I raise taxes, then all I'd have to do is lower taxes. Whereas if I make a new tax, I have to abolish a tax, which I actually will do to one of them. So alcohol tax. I will tax alcohol more. I'll raise it from 8% to, well, no, that doesn't really, no. That doesn't really add anything. So that, no. Right here. Tobacco tax. I will raise tobacco tax. And the reason why is because I understand it's an addiction. Some people have to have it. But at the same time, I want to try to discourage that. So by doing so, I'm going to raise the tax, make it cost a little bit more. Maybe some people might not be able to afford it, so maybe that will help them quit. And at the same time, it's also going to bring more money in for the country. So we're going to create that surplus by doing things like this. So if you watch this closely, you'll see this goes down as I increase this up. So that means tobacco usage is going down, which is what we want. 25, 27, 28, 29, 30. I want to make it probably, and I don't want to make it impossible for someone to buy, but I think I will make it 32. I think I will make it 32, and I will go ahead and apply that. And that's the first move right there. I mean, besides allowing, not allowing that trash dump and all of that. Let's see, what else can we do? And don't think that I'm just going to raise taxes on the poor, because corporation, they're going to have to pay their part too. Right now, we're getting 65 billion income off of this tax. I'm going to raise corporation tax. Now, I'm not going to make it impossible for a business, but I am going to raise it to 18%. I'm going to apply that one too. And then the only tax after that I am going to probably raise, how much should we get off of that? 6 billion. Probably the card tax, just a little bit, just enough to get it to 22 billion. There you go. And then I am going to go and tobacco awareness campaign. Going to implement that. And I'm going to make it, a little lower. So it's only going to cost us 354 million. And we're going to go to the next quarter again. Alright, so GDP went down a little bit. We'll continue to work on that. Like I said, right now my focus is crime, and I'm going to get to work on that now. But what are we doing? What am I doing? Okay, climate change protocol. Alright, so the United Nations Climate Change Conference signed a new protocol to limit the emission of greenhouse gases. Your country participated in the talks and drove a hard bargain in order not to put too much strain on the economy. Still, ratifying the protocol can be costly, limiting GDP growth and worker productivity. On the other hand, experts claim that this is the only way to save the economy. Do we ratify the protocol? So ratify the protocol means reducing greenhouse gas emissions is a necessary step to make sure our children will be born, oh man, habitable planet. Small hit to the economy is well worth this goal. Do not ratify with our economy at stake. We cannot ratify a proposal that prevents growth, productivity, and wealth. Other means of protecting the environment have to suffice for now. For me, I'm leaning more towards do not ratify, only because I just did do something to help the economy. So it's not that I'm not about the economy or nothing like that. But at the same time, I also don't want to ruin. If you look, our GDP's already went down. We saw in the report that I pulled up a minute ago how it crashed. So I don't really want to do anything to damage our economy growth anymore. And I don't want to do anything to damage our wealth. But at the same time, I don't want our planet to be damaged. But for now, I think I'm going to have to leave it. And kind of like it says, for now, I think I'm going to have to leave it and do not ratify. Of course, I've lost a lot of support from the environmentalists. Foreign relations went down, but capitalists went up. So, haven't heard anything from them lately or got anything from them. So that's good that that went up at least. Poverty's down, which is good. Alright, now let's get to work on this law and order stuff and see what we can do. So, anti-corruption bill. That doesn't really have anything to do with law and order. Needle exchange program. Police drones. Right to die. Right to privacy. State religion. Unexplained wealth orders. I think what I need to do right now is death penalty for violent crimes. So how can you change this? You can make it for serious crimes, violent crimes, homicide and rape, for homicide, mass murderers only. I think I'm going to make it for, change it to be for serious crimes. Because then it will make, to me, I think it will make, see, it makes violent crime go down, which is a part of crime. So I think that will be good. Then what else is there? How can you change this? If requested, widespread. I think I'm going to make it widespread too. That way that will help too. We'll go to the next quarter. And if you look, now we have a deficit of 16. Oh man, the global economy went down pretty far. GDP is going down again too. So we need to find a way to get the GDP up, is what we need to do, actually. So let me check on, well, let me check on it, or click on it. So let's see, this is what we spend. Military spending, I think, needs to go down just a little bit, because we spend a lot of money there. We have an overwhelming force. I think if we take some down, it's not going to make us, it's not going to hurt us that bad, I don't think. I think we're still going to be able to make it. Let's see, what else is there? Nuclear weapons. We're going to take that down just a little bit. Oh, it has to go down by, okay, I see. What's a new foreign policy that we can import tariffs? Cheap imports can be damaging to the economy because local companies cannot match the lower salaries paid by foreign competitors. Import tariffs help to protect local manufacturers from unfair competition. This does go against real free market economics, my bad. Let's go on and do it. It's only going to have an income of 686 million. Let's go on and do 900. So make him a little, I don't want to ruin it that bad actually. Revert. We'll do it to like 749. And we'll go to the next quarter. Alright, our ambassador to the UN retires this year, and we need to name a successor as soon as possible. Much will be made of whether we appoint a hardliner who sticks up for the country or someone more able to compromise. So, Tanya Robinson is well known as a patriot who will fight tooth and claw to get our interests represented at the UN. Seen as a popular choice amongst patriotic and more conservative citizens, she is not popular internationally. Dennis Gonzalez is a popular figure on the international stage with a reputation for solving difficult problems. Known as a well-foreign leader. I think I'll do Tanya Robertson. So having on, and of course everything went down. And I think that will be it for now. I'll leave it at this quarter. We're about a quarter of the way through. And I'll leave it for now, and then we'll shoot another video soon. Our deficit's going down, so that's good. Next video, I think I'm going to continue to work on law and order. I'm also going to work on some other stuff like the economy and welfare, I think. But that's it for this video. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to follow or subscribe, sorry. Make sure to leave a like and comment below and share with your friends and family. And this has been your boy TN Smooth, and I'm out.